Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, and welcome back to episode number 2 of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode here in NHL 19. So if you guys missed episode number 1 and you're watching episode number 2 without watching episode number 1, are you a madman? Do you like to watch the world burn? Stop watching this one right now. Make sure to go watch episode number 1. Link will be in the description. Make sure to go check that out because a lot has changed since episode number 1. So thank you guys for leaving your comments down in the comments section down below. That's really going to help me out because this is our series. This is not me playing through this Montreal franchise. I want to do what you guys think is best to do with this team. Obviously throwing in my suggestions here and there, but mainly it's for you guys to help me guide along and bring this team to success. So let's start off with the scouts, as you guys will see. We had to restart the save file, as I had mentioned, because we made some changes to it, but as you see, we do have some new scouts that are available on our teams. Once again, I'm not touching the pro scouts off immediately, but I went in and changed all the amateur scouts, position, playing style, and quality to any to have them search for all the things. We actually ended up getting an A- overall scout, Adelaide Lacouture, so they'll be coming in the next couple of days. And other than that, we are good to go to the contracts section and show you guys some changes and players that I have added in. Alright, so back to the comment section as we go. I'm just going to throw a couple of comments on the screen right now. This one from FFS Druin. This roster is missing Ryan Poehling. I believe that's how you say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Ryan Poehling. Alex Romanov, Caden Primo, and Jesse Yolinen should be a top 6. So that comment, thank you very much. Cale Fleury got disrespected from Cavalier McJenkins. Alright, I definitely adjusted Cale Fleury a good bit. And what else did we change in here? David Bertrand's comment was also pretty good, talking about Fleury, McNiman, Yolinen, Lehkonen, and Ikonen. So we made some changes on those two guys. Gualalim Parr, once again, we also made some changes regarding those guys, but most of the comments were definitely talking about adding Ryan Poehling to the team and adjusting some overall. So let me show you guys exactly what I did and what I have added to this Montreal Canadiens team. So starting off on the back end for the goaltenders, Anthony Niemi got a little bit of an upgrade. I basically just went in and adjusted all of his stats, gave him a +1 in everything, and whatever his overall ended up being, that's what we're going to go with. So he's now 77, gets a 1 overall boost, and Carey Price has been dropped down to a 90. A lot of people were saying that he should have been dropped down. I agree, 92 overall. Especially when the game came out, I think it was a little bit too high for him. I would have been fine with 91 overall, but I did the exact same thing that I did with Niemi. I lowered all of Carey Price's stats by 1 overall, so he will now sit at a 90 overall. Still a phenomenal goaltender in this game, but definitely not the 92 he was sitting at before. And speaking of goalies, if we go into the system, I added in Caden Primo to the squad. So I actually did not know that this was Keith Primo's son. I put him into the game. He's at a 60 overall fringe starter. I know low fringe starter. I know you guys are not going to completely agree with all these potentials, so I was just going off the best I could through elite prospects, looking at their stats and kind of figuring out what the best course of action would be to go for with their stats. He's pretty much got like low 70s for every single stat he has on the screen. And I basically signed all these guys to 1-year, 2-way contracts just so that I can actually sign them to decent deals in the following year. So Caden, I want to say Keith, Caden Primo is now in the game. All right, so moving on to the defenseman now. I believe there he is. Alexander Romanov has indeed been added to the game as per your guys' requests. 62 overall, I ended up going with him. Top 4 defenseman, low potential. I looked at his elite prospects kind of review. It doesn't really look like he's all too close to being NHL ready as of yet, but a lot of you Montreal guys were definitely praising him in the comments section, so I definitely needed to add him. 5'11", 185. Does it give his nationality? It does. Russian. Good. It actually kept that into the game as well, which is awesome. But yeah, 62 overall, low potential to become a top 4 defenseman, so he is in there. I made him a 2. Did I make him a 2-way defender? Where is his player role at? 2-way defender. Yeah, I made him a 2-way. His stats look more like a defensive defenseman's like stat line, but I looked at a couple reports and it seems like he's more over a 2-way defenseman than any other. So Romanov is in. What else did we change? All right, so we made Cale Fleury. A lot of people were saying Cale Fleury got disrespected in the comments section of the last video, so we ended up moving him up to, I don't think I touched his overall at all. I still kept him as 61, but I made him a high potential for a top 6. So high potential for top 6 is kind of like medium top 4 in a way. You can get pretty decent with high potential. I don't think there's anybody else I touched. I don't think I touched Josh Brook. Did I make any changes other than defenseman? No, I did not. All right, and then when it comes to forwards that we changed, I upgraded Nikita Sherbak's overall. Once again, I did another +1 over +1 to all of his stats, so that ends up making him a 78 overall. He's still considered a depth forward even with the overall boosts, but still medium top 6. I'm not going to change the potentials on a couple of the guys that had like really decent potentials already. So we're still going to keep him at a top 6 medium potential, but 78 overall now with the boost is good. Kotkaniemi has been upgraded to a 70 overall. Once again, I upgraded all of his stats, however, by 2. I didn't touch his potential, still left it at medium elite, but I upgraded all of his stats by 2. So his shot is much better. His shot accuracies are in the 70s now. His puck skills are pretty damn good. And there he is. In the next edition, Ryan Poehling has also been added in as your guys requested it. 70 overall, medium, top 6 potential for Ryan Poehling. I kind of just went with like mid-70s, couple 80s in there for all of his stats. So hopefully he should progress pretty well. 6'2", 188, the guy from Minnesota, right? He's from Minnesota, I believe. So that's pretty much it for that. Did we make any other adjustments? Yolinen, I upgraded his potential to medium top 9. All right, so we're definitely going to get done some simulating here, but first I want to simulate a couple days so I can get those 2 scouts and scout them in their specific places. So Ola Lack has joined my scouting team, and we're still waiting on another one as well, I believe. Leon Kolzig is also added to our scouting department. So we're gonna send those guys out to the appropriate places if I can figure out where they're supposed to go. All right, sorry about that little debacle there, guys. Had a little glitch in the scouting system. My guy wasn't showing up for any apparent reason, but he's in there now. So we got the scouts assigned to where we want them to go. Now, before we continue along with the preseason here, let's upgrade our trading block a bit, because there are some players we definitely need to put on there. Some surpluses and wants that we definitely need to look for as well for this coming season, and we definitely got to get rid of some of these contracts that we have been just unfortunately left upon. So to start off on this list, we definitely need to add Carl Alsner to this list, because 4.625 for 4 years is not going to cut it with this team at all. So Alsner is definitely going to be added onto the trading block for sure. Jeff Petrie might make his way onto there as well, but let's just get some of the obvious ones out of the way to start. So he's going to be on there. Andrew Shaw obviously is going to be put on there as well. 3.9 for 4 more years. That's definitely something I don't want. And then finally, who's the last one? I'm not going to put Carey Price on the chopping block as of right now, because there's just no reason to throw him on there. I'll throw Kirby Reichel on there, because I think technically we're not supposed to have Kirby Reichel on our team, so we'll throw him onto the trade block. Hopefully we get some offers in from there. And now surplus, we definitely have a surplus of like defenders, and depth defensive players is definitely something we do have a surplus of. We do have a surplus of those guys, and we definitely have picks to trade as well, so hopefully we'll be getting a lot of trades in. And now for once, I think forwards, second line forwards are definitely something. Defensemen is something we need as well. 17 to 30, top 4 kind of role. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for, to be honest. Third line, checking line forwards, no, we don't need those. We definitely don't need those. I think second line forwards are something that we need to look for. Being the age range as well, I'm going to lower that age range from 17 all the way to 23. So those are pretty much, actually I'm just going to look for any forwards between the ages of 17 to 23, because that's kind of what our core is looking at the moment. I don't really want to go higher than 23, maybe even 24 years old at the current moment. So for defensemen, I'll look at age 24, and those are the type of players that I want to look for. I'll actually remove the role from top 4 to any at this point in time. So I definitely want to look for some young defensemen and young forwards who definitely we can acquire onto this team. And then for goaltender prospects, I mean, I'll look for a goaltending prospects, at least a starting goaltender between 17 to 20. Let's go with 24, 17 to 24 on that end. And then current picks, yeah, first round picks, I will definitely entertain some trades from that end, and also on future firsts as well. Okay, so there's the wants that we're looking for. We're looking for young players, young forwards, young defensemen, and goaltenders pretty much anywhere between the ages of 17 to 24. I'm actually going to increase the forward age to 24 just in case we might get some offers in there. All right, so that's what we're looking for. Those are the type of players that we want on our team. And then Osner, Shaw are the main two kind of guys that we want to get rid of on the trading block, and hopefully we get some offers in from those guys. Trading block is done. Scouts are done, I think. If it's glitched, whatever. Injuries, we do need to turn off, and then we need to edit up our lines a bit. So let me do the injury thing real quick. It's a lot of micromanaging in this episode, as you guys can see, but we'll definitely get there. All right, that took way longer than it needed to be, but I think we have our lineups set for the first couple of months here of simulation. So on Montreal, we're going to have Patches, Jonathan Drouin, and Brendan Gallagher on line number 1, Max Domi, Philippe Deneau, and Joel Armia on line number 2. Arturi Lehkonen, Charles Hudon, and Paul Byron on line number 3, and then Nick Delorier, Thomas Plekanec, and Andrew Shaw on line number 4. Nikita Sherbak will be the extra forward that we have sitting out. Simone Dupre and Shea Weber are going to be the top pair. I wanted to switch up Petrie and Weber because there are only 2 right-handed defensemen, so we might as well split them up. Petrie will be on the second line with Osner, Schlemko down there in the last pair with Victor Mete. In net, Carey Price, Anthony Emmy obviously backing him up. And then special teams lineups just kind of look like this. We're going to have Weber on the power play, obviously. Domi will be on the point down there. And then Armia, Deneau, and Lehkonen will be the second pair on the power play. Penalty kill is basically going to have Plekanec, Armia, Deneau, Shaw, and then Weber, Petrie, Dupre, and Osner killing penalties. As for the Laval Rockets, had to make a couple changes in here, but I think we got it good enough. So we're going to have Jacob De La Rose, Michael Chaput, and Ryan Poehling there on the top line. Now, technically, I was hesitant to play Ryan Poehling at all in this first year because technically he wouldn't be playing in the AHL. He would more than likely be playing in the NCAA, like where he was, but I don't know if he's transferring to the the AHL this year. I don't think he can because he's only I think he might be 19 or 20 at this point, but still, we'll play him on the top line in the AHL. If you guys want me to take him off, I'll do that, but we're going to play him there. I thought I'd pair him up with De La Rose and Chaput, the 2 best guys. Technically, we could maybe even go with Kokniemi on the top line instead of Poehling, but I'm going to go with that. But I think Kokniemi will strive here on the second line, pairing him up with Kenny Agostino and Kirby Reichel, 2 pretty decently overall guys, so hopefully they'll be able to feed the puck. Hopefully Agostino and Kokniemi can really work well together. I'm having faith in that. Third line will be Alexander Grenier, Michael McCarron, Byron Fries, and then Freiberg, Matt Pekka, and Jesse Yolinen is going to be on the fourth line. Defensively, Juleson and Riley, Jalina, Tamarina, Valiev, and Lurno. Nothing really crazy about that. Goaltenders, Charlie Lindgren, Michael McNiven. And then scratch players, we do have a bunch of scratch players with some decent overall, as you guys will see. Romanov is going to be scratched. He's 62 overall. He's not really going to find a place on the defense unless for injuries. Will Bitton is also going to be scratched. Caden Primo will be scratched, obviously. And then Lucas Videmo was also going to be scratched in the AHL. So that's what the AHL and the NHL lines are going to look like. Injuries are on. Injury occurrence is down. I think we are good to at least get 2 months of simulation in, so that way I can edit up the scouts afterwards. But hopefully we get some trades incoming as well. I want to see where this Montreal Canadiens team is going to be after 2 months. Now, this is what I like, the franchise overview, because I can actually see when most of my scouts are going to be done. So they're going to be done mostly around November 10th. So I'm going to go, that's only going to be like 1 month of simulation. Yeah, I'll go to November 9th. And let's see where this Habs team is. Like I said, I should have enough players on my team that if injuries do happen, I could just go replace player and we should be sitting pretty. But I think we're cap compliant. We made all the changes that we need. Yep, we're good. We sent every player down, up, and around that we need to. And let's see how this Montreal Canadiens team is going to do. Like I said, it could either be really well or it could be really bad, because all it matters on how well Carey Price and that defense is going to hold up. Honestly, our offense is going to be a little bit suspect as well. The top line, Patches, Drouin, and Brendan Gallagher, I think we'll be able to get it done. It's just the depth of it is going to be interesting. All right, so the draft class is here. I'm not going to view it. I'm going to view it on the second time, because that's when I'll make, you know, maybe I'll start scouting specific players as I need to. So I'll skip the first one for right now, and then I'll take a look at it at 2 months, at the 2-month mark, and we'll take a look at where prospects are going to be and how we're going to look. So the first month is done, 6-4-1. It's not terrible. Carey Price has been injured with a swollen knee. His estimated return is November 2018. You must call up players from an AHL affiliate to fit within roster rules. Cool. All right, so it looks like we're going to have to call up Charlie Lindgren, because Price went down with an injury. That is something I definitely kind of saw coming, to be perfectly honest. That was one thing that I would assume would definitely hurt our team. So I'll just make the edit lines section here pretty easy. Shouldn't be too hard to make this change. Fire by trial. There we go. Caden Primo will actually be getting starts there in Laval. All right, so Lindgren will be in there for at least a little bit. Price shouldn't be out for too long, at least if I saw correctly. I think it's only maybe for like a week or so. Carey Price has returned to the lineup. Yeah, so he was only out for a couple of games. Send Charlie Lindgren back down. Waiver eligible. Oh, he has to go through waivers. Great. I don't think anybody will claim him. Somebody did claim him. Really? Somebody actually claimed Charlie Lindgren? Oh, God. Why? Why? All right, I'll have to go out and sign a goaltender then really quickly. All right, so now all our goaltenders are just going down with injuries. So McNiven's injured hamstring November 15th, so I'll just replace the player. We do have that extra AHL goaltender, which is fine. I'm waiting on a couple days for the other goaltender to hopefully come here. Okay, we have a trade. Carl Alsner to the Dallas Stars for a 3rd and a 4th. So we give up Alsner a 4th and a 6th, and we get back a 3rd and a 4th. I'm gonna say no to that. We're really just swapping 4ths and getting an extra pick in there. So one more day after the 10th. Okay, Gustafsson accepted our offer. Cool. Ooh. Now that is an interesting trade, Philadelphia. Carl Alsner and a 4th for Phil Myers. Now we don't know much about Phil Myers at the current time, but the Flyers definitely want Alsner and they want the 4th. And we want Phil Myers. This is something we're looking for as well. Felipe Myers, even though it says unknown at the current time, our accuracy is kind of exactly what we want. Low elite, 73 overall is kind of semi-accurate. Do I make this trade right now, guys? Grabbing Phil Myers. He's got 6 points so far in 12 AHL games, more than likely. Minor league top 4 defenseman, 15 penalty minutes plus 7. Like I said, we have not scouted him at all. Should we do some intense? I don't know if we're gonna get. I don't know if we'll get a better deal than this. I think the Flyers would still hold on to this deal, so maybe I can actually just send a scout to the the AHL Lehigh Valley Phantoms for maybe a couple days, and then we come back to this trade. I don't think the Flyers will let this deal go by. So you know what? I think I'm gonna say, I don't know. It's semi-accurate. Like, it's 3 lines on Elite, 3 lines on 73. I honestly think I take this deal. We're 7-7-2. We get cap relief. We lose a 4th round pick, but we get Phil Myers in return, which could be a huge addition to our defensive prospect pool. I think I'm going to make this trade, guys. I think I'm going to do it. I think we can maybe get a little bit better value for Alsner, but, like, low Elite, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not the biggest, like, franchise mode, like, buff. I don't know what like low elite potential is. I always think like low elite is pretty dangerous if you ask me. You know what? I'm gonna say no to it for right now. I'm gonna exit, and you know what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to take the time because I think our scouts are done. So I'm gonna do some like intense research on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. All right, so with that incoming trade, I'm going to go and make sure that I have. I think, what division are the Phantoms in? They're in the AHL Atlantic division, I believe. So I'm going to take this guy who is Cameron Forbes. I'm going to make sure that he scouts a group, specific players. not on the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. I want him to scout specific players on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And honestly, the person who I want him to scout is going to be Phil Myers. I want to complete, when will he be done? Estimated dates, November 12th, that's it? Okay, that'd be pretty easy. So I want him to just focus in on Phil Myers right now. Right now, currently, he'll be done on November 12th. We'll actually get a full assessment of Phil Myers. So you know what? I'll leave the scouts doing what they do. So let's just actually go up to November 12th, and then we'll actually be able to get a full assessment on Felipe Myers at the time, and then we can actually decide if we want to make that trade with Alzner. But McNiven is back. All right, so we have the 12th is here. Skip ahead one more day, and now we should, if we wanted to go to trade players, we should know a complete full report on Phil Myers. So let's go to the Philadelphia Flyers. We're now 6-9-2, so they definitely want to give away some players here. Let's see if we can find Phil Myers. Here he is. Okay, so he's 76 overall. He is not elite. He's low top 4. So we're kind of glad we did that. We figured out what his potential was exactly, so I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger on that immediately. So we kind of saved ourselves a bit there. Still 76 overall, roughly around there, is not bad at all. 7 points in 13 games still for him is not bad. But yeah, his overall is still kind of suspect. It's not exactly 76. It could be hit or miss, but we got his potential complete. It was not low elite. It was actually low top 4, which I think is even worse, to be honest. So I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger on that. Patches is leading our team more than likely with 12 points in 17 games. Jonathan Drouin right behind him with 10. Armia has 9. Max Domi with only 8, Deneau with 8, Hudon, Gallagher, and Lehkonen only have 6. So Brendan Gallagher on the first line doesn't seem to be getting it done. Joel Armia is for sure getting it done. He's probably getting power play points, I would think. Yeah, he has 5 power play points, so he's definitely getting it done on the power play. It looks like our power play might not be too terrible at all, and then there's the rest of the point totals down there. Defensemen, we probably won't have many defensemen getting points. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about this team, is that we really don't have an offensive defenseman to help us get points, which is unfortunate. So goaltenders, we have Carey Price, who's only played 13 games so far. 6-5-1, .930 save percentage, which is really good. Goals against 2.27, not terrible. And Niemi is 1-3-1, .910, 2.63. How is Lavelle doing? They are 10-3-2. Good. Byron Frey's killing it down there. 14 points in 15 games. Let's do another month of simulating here, and we'll see if we get any more trade offers, and then maybe we'll send some guys out to scout specific players. But let's do one more month here. Let's go all the way to the end of December. All the way to the beginning of January. We'll do another sim here, because then we'll be able to decide exactly kind of what our team is. Joel Armia, injured wrist, estimated return is 23rd. Okay, so we'll replace the player, so Sherbak should go into the lineup. That'll be good to get him some time. Mike Riley is available to play. All right, so let's make that change really quickly. And Joel Armia is available to play in the team's next game. Good, so we can take Sherbak off of the lineup here. So Sherbak played at least like 2 games in there, which is not bad. Ooh. A lot of these teams are giving us some low-level prospects now. Vitaly, it's his first name is Vitaly, right? I'm pretty sure. Vitaly Abramov for Alzner in a 3rd. See, the Flyers trade was a little bit better because we were giving up a 4th, but a 3rd for Abramov. Do we know anything about Abramov? Do we know anything about him? We know everything about him. Low top 6. 67 overall, but once again, the potential is kind of like, I'd rather take like a low top 4 than I would a low top 6. If he was medium top 6, I would not hesitate on this offer at all. But 67 overall, low top 6, it's kind of a little bit suspect. So I think I'm gonna say no to this. Plus that 3rd round pick is something that I think I would need a little bit later on. Zach Senyshyn for 2 fourths. I don't think so. I'm going to decline that. Okay, what do we got here? Ooh, wow. Holy crap, Toronto. Okay. Alzner again. This time a 2nd, but we're getting Kasperi Kapanen, a 3rd, a 4th, and Sean Durzi. Interesting. Alright, do we know anything about Kasperi Kapanen yet? Low top 6 again. That potential, though, is a little bit, yeah. He's an NHL player, 79 overall. He's only had 4 points in 26 games so far this year. I think is he playing with Toronto this year? He is playing with Toronto, so that might be why on the third line. He only 4 points in 26 games, so it doesn't look like he's NHL ready as of right now. But still, it's a decent player there. And then I don't think we know anything about Sean Durzi. We don't. I don't know what his potential rating is this game. We could scout him. No report on this player. I'm actually going to scout him because we can always revisit these guys if we need to. I want a complete overview of Sean Durzi. So that should only take like 2 days or so to complete that. So I'll revisit that really quickly. So once that Rangers game comes up, I'll stop the sim. Byron Frey's pulled groin, that's fine. We can just replace the player. Okay, so that Rangers game is done. I want to actually go back to trade players and take a look at Sean Durzi and see what his potential is, because we can obviously always just revisit these trades and edit them just a tad bit, because if these teams are offering them, more than likely they'll take the same offer back, or they'll offer it again at a later date. But let's see if we got a report here on Sean Durzi. Let's see, Sean Durzi, we do have a report on him. We don't know his overall yet, but medium top 4 is still pretty good. I think I'm gonna do another complete review on him just to maybe level out his overall. If it's a lot better than 68, that would be really phenomenal, to be honest. Okay, glad I didn't make the trade. Did not make the trade. Low top 6, and his overall is a lot closer to like 58 overall as we're viewing it, and he's not even signed at the current moment, so we're not going to make that trade. Even though Kasperi Kapanen is decent, like I said, 79 overall, low top 6. We know his potential's low top 6, but I don't think he's getting it done on the NHL level. And plus, his second round pick for all that is a little bit suspect at this time. So, but yeah, see, like, I like the new trading system because all these NHL teams are offering us some very unique trades. And as you guys can see, Montreal is definitely on the struggle bus here, 14, 18, and 2. Yeah, I do not think we are going to be a playoff team at all. 14, 20, and 2. Yeah, we're not. We're definitely not a playoff team if we're hovering around 500 here at the end of December, beginning of January. So I think for sure that we are definitely going to be sellers come the trade deadline. 16, 22, and 2. Yeah, we're a good 6 games under 500. We're definitely going to be sellers come next month's trade deadline, which is going to be on March 5th this year. This is probably where we're gonna wrap it up. Let me know what you guys thought of those trades and some other potential players around that age range that you think we could actually end up getting. Remember, we got trades from Philadelphia for Phil Myers. We got a trade from Columbus for Vitaly Abramov. And we also got offers in from Toronto for Kasperi Kapanen, Sean Durzi. But Kapanen would be the main point of interest from that trade. The standings are down below. As you guys can see, we're last in the Metro, or the Atlantic. We're not the worst team in the Eastern Conference, though. That belongs to Columbus, as a matter of fact, which is weird why they wanted us to trade for Alzner. They probably don't want that trade anymore, which, you know, which would make sense. But there's all the rest of the teams. Who's the best team in the NHL right now? It looks to be the St. Louis Blues, who have 55 points, 25, 7, and 5 currently, so they're doing a good deal. Pacioretty's our leading point getter, 28 points in 40 games, so I think it would be time for us to add Max Pacioretty to that trading block now. I think that's going to be the perfect time to do that. We're going to take Kirby Reichel off the trading block because we definitely did not get any offers in from him, and it is definitely time to add Max Pacioretty to that trading block, and now we should be getting a ton of more trades offers in, especially with patches on the block. So that's it for this episode, guys. We'll take another little roundup in the next episode, but very eventful in and of itself. We know what kind of team Montreal is going to be this year. For the beginning of episode number 3, we are going to take a look at the draft class. That's the first thing that I'm going to do, is I'll take a look at the draft class, and then we're going to start kind of pinpointing players and prospects that we want to target for the draft. So we'll make sure that we do that, and then we'll continue to sim. We'll probably make it before the trade deadline. We'll take a look at everything and trades that we could possibly make. Leave some suggestions for trades that you guys think we should make as well in the comments down below for players you think we should go out and acquire, or you think we have a chance of acquiring. And other than that, I thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as always. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.